The observation gallery was a silent bubble of transparent alloy protruding into the swirling nebula of the Garnet Veil. Within it, the human diplomat stood alone, his formal black suit stark against the cosmic violence of color. He was waiting to meet his doom, or his destiny. The title was archaic, melodramatic to his modern sensibilities, but it was the one she insisted upon. The Vampire Queen. Her real name was a series of modulated frequencies no human vocal cords could reproduce. Her species, the Sanguinari, were a paradox. They had achieved faster-than-light travel, while their culture remained rooted in a dark, feudal aristocracy. They were not undead, not in the fairy tale sense. Their biology required specific compounds found only in the blood of certain sentient species, a fact that had led to centuries of fear, revulsion, and war. They were conquerors, but reluctant ones. Their need was a biological shackle. The door to the gallery irised open without a sound. She entered, and the very light in the room seemed to dim and pool around her. She was tall, her form elegant and powerful beneath a gown that resembled solidified night, threaded with silver like distant stars. Her skin was pale as a neutron star's crust, her hair a waterfall of deepest obsidian. Her eyes, when they fixed on him, were the color of old blood, holding an intelligence that felt immeasurably ancient. "You are the representative," she stated. Her voice was low, a cello note felt in the bones. "I am," he replied, keeping his voice steady. "I am called Leo. Leo." She tested the name, then dismissed it. "You have studied our terms. You have reviewed the historical records. The Sanguinari do not offer alliances. We offer protected status. Your world, Earth, would become a protected tributary. In exchange for a regular, voluntary donation from a small percentage of your population, we would shield you from the chaos of this galactic arm. Our technology, limited, would be shared. Your people would be safe." Leo had memorized the cold calculus. The galactic consensus had refused Earth membership, deeming humanity too fractious, too young. Alone, human colonies were falling to piratical raiders and corporate enclaves. The Sanguinari offer was the only one on the table. It was also, in the eyes of many, a deal with the devil. Historical files showed worlds that had accepted similar terms. They were safe, orderly, and utterly devoid of spirit. Their cultures slowly drained into somnolent compliance. "The terms are clear," Leo said. "But my government has authorized me to propose an amendment. A different framework." One perfect eyebrow arched. "There is no amendment. There is the offer. Acceptance or refusal. And I must refuse." The air grew colder. She did not move, but the pressure in the room increased. "Refusal is illogical. Your species will be extinguished within 3 generations. We have seen the projections. We are good at defying projections," Leo said, meeting her gaze. He saw not malice there, but a profound, weary inevitability. It was that weariness he had to reach. "But we are not here to refuse aid. We are here to offer a partnership. A true one. A partnership implies equality. There is no equality between the predator and the prey. It is a biological fact, is it?" Leo asked. He activated a small, hollow projector. Images flickered between them. Not of Sanguinari warships, but of their art. Music scores that looked like vascular systems. Architecture that pulsed with slow light. Poetry about the bittersweet ache of a need that forever tied them to others. "We have studied more than your wars. We see your culture. You value permanence, beauty, depth of experience. You are trapped by your own need. It makes you conquerors, but you take no joy in it. It is a transaction, empty and cold." Her expression remained impassive, but her eyes tracked the images. "Your analysis is sentimental." "It is accurate," Leo pressed. "You protect worlds because you must feed. But what if you didn't have to? What if the need could be met without conquest? Without the quiet resentment of a tributary? There is no alternative. Our physiology is immutable. Humanity's first and greatest skill is adaptation, not just of ourselves, but of the world around us. He switched the display. Complex molecular structures unfolded. We cannot synthesize the compounds you need, but our bioengineering can. We can create a synthetic substitute, not from blood, but from cultured cells, from tailored bacteria. It would require your shared knowledge of your own biology, which you have always kept secret. It would require a joint research endeavor, a merging of our sciences. For the first time she moved, taking a step closer. The nebula's light played across her face. A fairy tale. You would seek to weaponize such knowledge. You could weaponize it against us just as easily, Leo countered. That is the point of partnership. Mutual vulnerability. Mutual benefit. You give us the stars, we give you freedom. Freedom from the need that has defined your civilization for millennia. She was silent for a long time, watching the garnet veil churn. And if this fairy tale fails, the research yields nothing, then the old terms stand. But we will have tried, and you will have learned that not every species sees you only as a monster. Some might see you as a potential ally. She turned from the nebula, her eyes boring into his. You speak for all humanity? Your history is one of internal conflict. Your factions will decry you for treating with monsters. My own court will see this as a dangerous mortal weakness. Let them, Leo said, his own conviction solidifying. Let them argue, but give them the chance to argue about a future, not just the management of an eternal present. We are offering you a choice you have not had since you reached the stars. Not just what to consume, but who to be. The Queen looked at him, truly looked at him, not as a diplomatic functionary, but as a living, breathing specimen of a species she had considered simple, short-lived, and fearful. She saw the fear, yes, but also a defiant, stubborn hope that was entirely alien to her. This partnership, she said slowly, it would require a symbol, a gesture of irrevocable trust between our peoples. More than a treaty. Leo nodded, his throat dry. He knew what was coming. The briefings had mentioned this old, nearly mythical Sanguinari tradition. It would require a bond, she said. A chosen representative from your species, and one from mine. Linked, not by blood-taking, but by a mutual pledge. That person would live among us, a bridge. And in return, one of ours would live among you. It is a deep commitment. For us, it is for a century. For a human, it could be for life. She stepped so close he could feel the strange, cool energy that seemed to radiate from her. The human in the bond would be a guest, but also a guarantor. They would see our secrets. They would share our space. They would be with me. My court is not a gentle place. You would be an outsider, always. You would be surrounded by a need you cannot comprehend. You would watch your own life pass, while I remain unchanged. It is a loneliness I would not wish on anyone. Her eyes held his, and in their crimson depth, he saw not a threat, but a warning, a profound and honest caution. So, human called Leo, with full knowledge of what we are and what this entails. Are you sure you want me? The question hung in the air between them, more real than the nebula outside. He saw the future she described, isolation, the weight of being a symbol, the suspicion from his own people, the eternal, watchful gaze of hers, the gulf of biology and time. But he also saw the other future, the slow, grin sucking dry of his homeworld spirit, the loss of human chaos, human innovation, human stubbornness, the reduction of Earth to another quiet, safe, and lifeless tributary in the Sanguinari Empire. He saw no hope in that dot here. In this fraught, dangerous, and terrifying offer, there was a sliver of something else. Not just survival, but a chance to change the course of two civilizations. To replace a chain of need with a bridge of understanding. It was a gamble of monumental proportions. He did not hesitate. Yet I choose you. The words were simple. Final dot something in her immortal countenance shifted. The weariness did not vanish, but it was joined by a flicker of something else. Astonishment, perhaps, or the faintest spark of that alien thing. Hope. Then it is done, she whispered. She did not touch him. There was no ceremony. But the pact was sealed in the space between them, in the silent observation gallery floating in the nebula. The vampire queen had offered a human the truth of her existence. And the human, seeing the monster and the monarch, the need and the nobility, had accepted it all. The news would send shockwaves through both societies. There would be outrage on Earth. Treason, some would cry. There would be fury in her court. Weakness, they would hiss. But as Leo stood beside the queen, looking out at the vast, beautiful, and terrible universe, he felt no regret. He had not chosen safety. He had not chosen subjugation. He had chosen a difficult truth over a comfortable lie. He had chosen a partnership with a predator to save the spirit of his prey. And she, the ancient queen who had only known conquest and cautious control, looked at the short-lived, brave, foolish human beside her and felt the first stone of a new foundation settle in a millennia-old loneliness. The human had been sure, and for the first time in eternity, so perhaps was she.